What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fun in the Country Basement, hosted by Kuntry 3D. We're going to take off from here and let the guy down below that way. That right there. That guy.
Yeah, one of these days you'll catch on to how all this streaming thing works. And
I know
how you have to point in the opposite direction of the way you really think that it should go. Hello, everybody. I am Glenn from Fun King 3D. Welcome to this week's episode of Fun in the Country Basement. I can be found pretty much everywhere at Fun King 3D. And I think that's all I got for you now.
Excellent. So I guess that's me. Hello, everyone. How are you today? I'm doing swell. Thanks for asking. This is Fun in the Country Basement. We just missed 1 week, right? But it feels it feels like it's been like 40 weeks for some reason. But yeah, it's Sunday, Fun in the Country Basement. We're going to have a good time. I hope all of you are doing well. That's all I got.
And I do have good updates because I'm actually going to start working on things again. I've got one printer to put together, one printer to clean up and try to put together, printer to take apart, and another printer to put together. Using those parts off of the printer I'm taking apart. So
excellent.
I do have a three video series coming out that is kind of the premiere of Zach. It's just me and Zach, man, and it's like taking me back to the days of when Xander and I started, and I want to punch myself in the face. They always say that kids and animals are the toughest to work with. Whew. Like he talks over me, and I'm like trying to nudge him under the table to get him to shush. And he's like, ow! Like, I'm like, shut up. But, no, it'll be good. It'll be good. That'll be coming out. I'm hoping to have it released the first one in the middle of this week.
Cool.
Sweet. 3D Jimmy brought it up. Yes, I am on Iwo Jima, or I have Iwo Jima as my background. My granddad was there, and it was 75 years ago this year, so it is my background today.
What the heck is making that noise over there? It sounds like I'm grinding up something in the other room. I'm sure it's a printer issue of some kind.
Getting rid of the bodies.
If it's grinding, then I'm sure it is an issue of some kind.
Man, it sounds awful.
I have got to print. Somebody posted the other day on Facebook the foldable R2D2. And I downloaded it on my work laptop. And I'm like, well, I can't slice it on here. So I haven't downloaded it again since then. I need to download it and print that out. I am so ready. What are you working on, Glenn?
So this is the key fob for my car.
Oh.
For some reason, the unlock button doesn't work anymore. Oh, well, there's the problem right there.
Did it fall out?
There's like...
Oh, yeah.
There's like parts laying in there that's not supposed to be.
your spring fell off your button.
I'm going to have to put on my super duper spectacles. Here's your bingo square.
Right. Glenn's got on more than one pair of glasses. You know what I think? I thought Chris might have got, paged again and decided to go answer it this time.
No. No, my palette 2 found a kink in the middle of my roll of filament.
Oh.
At least, it found it for me.
Right.
Chris got that kinky filament.
Yeah.
Is it going to continue from where it was at, or did you have to stop it?
It is locked tight as a drum.
Oh.
So I have to start that over.
Well, hopefully it wasn't a really long print and you were almost done.
Nah, it was good. So this one's kind of unique. I don't know if you've ever heard of these MakerBase Robin boards. This one is the Nano board.
Nope.
It's an STM32. Which one is it? It's the VET6, whatever one that would be.
Yeah.
But they've decided to, in fact, I'm going to pull one out. they decided to use two. Wow, that is some small print. Either I'm getting old or that's just way too tiny.
Age is a terrible thing, man.
Yeah. Even if I had enough light, I probably can't see that.
You need 2 pairs of glasses.
I do need 2 pairs. I was thinking about that the other day. I really do need a magnifying glass down here of some kind. My phone camera can usually see it pretty well.
Been doing that recently on these modems with these IMEI numbers and stuff on the back of them. Just taking a picture so I can zoom in and read it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they decided to use two 2208s, one for X and one for Y, and then the Z and the E motor got an A49A8.
All righty.
I've never seen them do that before.
Is that just like a cost savings?
Yeah, probably, $4 versus 20 cents.
Well, yeah, because you think about it. I mean, on the Z,
100 units, and then
on the Z and the E, I mean, you're not talking that much noise when they move anyway, except for maybe during homing. So, yeah, save that dollar.
It does make it somewhat interesting. Huh. Well, there you go. You see something new every day. So, yeah.
Andrew S. said he's another year older in 90. Let me tell y'all what I did. And I know this is a family-friendly show, but I'm going to tell y'all anyway. We went to Disney this past weekend. Go figure. And I did something that I don't do very often, and we tried drinking around the world. I didn't make it. I didn't even make it halfway. I've got video that I've got to splice together and make a video out of, but it's not great.
So you're now like holding off to just drinking around the block?
No, I'm just going to pick a world for one day and go, hey, I'm going to go have a drink. A drink, not multiple drinks, just a drink. We started in Mexico with a margarita. Then went to Norway and got some beer, and then went to Germany and got some beer, and then went to China and got some liquor, and then went to Morocco and got some liquor, and made it to the U.S. and got some liquor. And I told Regina, I said, I gotta go. Done. But they make it taste so good. All that fruity, frozen stuff that's full of liquor.
I don't like alcohol that has sugar in it. Like sweet drinks and stuff. It just doesn't.
That'd be all alcohol technically, but
yeah, right.
Yeah. I had somebody tell me one time I only like booze that tastes like lighter fluid, and that's kind of how I feel about it.
I don't particularly care for alcohol at all.
Well, you don't drink at all, so
right.
And the thing is, I hardly ever drink. That's what I told Regina. I said I have a 1 to 2 beer. I mean, the most I had drank was at Earth, and I drank like 3 beers with y'all out on the patio that one night, Chris, and that's it. Yep. And I don't think I've had 1 beer since then until this past weekend. So, yeah, I don't drink very much at all. And then, yeah.
I have to say that I've gotten to the point where I don't like projects that I have to glue together that I can't use any form of 3D glue. They need to come up with a formula that just like glues everything.
Universal gloop?
Yeah. They can just call it Glenn's gloop, and I'll just
That's the gloopiest.
It's the gloopiest of gloops. I don't know if this is going to work. Super glue. It's rubber and metal. I'm not sure what they originally had it stuck with.
Has Mosquito started shipping their Kickstarter stuff yet? Anybody?
Not that I know of.
I don't think so either. I haven't seen another email from them, so I don't think they have.
There was a couple of updates. I think I didn't read the last one or something. I don't remember. But
hey, now live on my channel. It's Fun in the Kuntry Basement. I should go over there and watch.
You should watch that. It's a pretty good show.
You should tune in so at least one person's watching.
I like watching them idiots on TV sometimes.
Makes me feel better about myself.
It's funny, man. I hate putting it up. I was telling Regina the other day, I used to want to be an actor, and then I saw myself on a 70-inch screen and said, nah, I couldn't handle that in a movie theater.
Speaking of Kickstarters, I backed Print Dry. Print Dry had the ready-made food dehydrator, basically. Well, they brought out Print Dry 2 or whatever they're calling it. And that was a Kickstarter, and I backed that. And they're supposed to be shipping sometime this week, but it'll do 2 kg spools. It's got a hat that goes on top of it, so you can do a lot bigger spools on it. And it wasn't outrageously expensive. I think it was $130 or something. But I'm kind of looking forward to that. That should be pretty cool.
Mike, that's a donation. That Mike said they offered to deliver copperheads at Murph and wonder how they handle the money I paid for international shipping. That's a donation. You made a donation to Slice Engineering. I have some news. Slice Engineering has a new employee.
You?
No, my daughter Shauna.
Awesome.
She graduates in August with a degree in what do you call it? Recreation, tourism, event planning is what she's getting. So they hired her as a marketing person. So
well, that's cool.
She might, I don't know if they're taking her to Murph or what, but she might go to Murph and I'm not. But no, I don't even know if I was supposed to say that or not, because I gave her Dan's contact number and that was all work between them. I don't even know that Dan knew she was my daughter until after the fact. I'm not 100% sure. I have no idea how that process went.
Huh. Well, cool.
I got kept up to date that the interviews went great, and I was like, sweet, that's nice. And then she messaged back and said, hey, I got a job. I'm like, sweet. Did I ever serve over in Germany, sir? We used to go down to, I don't know what the hell that means. On a Friday night in the street of 1,000 bars. Yes, I served in Germany. We used to go to the Green Goose on Friday night. Sometimes we would go to Guntendorf to the Sour to watch live bands. It was a 2-story live band venue that was way out away from base, and it was fun to go to. So, yes, I did serve 2 years in Bamberg.
Paul Cumber wants to know, how do you change out an LCD screen on a monoprice MP Select Mini 3D printer? I believe that's got a cover on the bottom, doesn't it? Yes. You've got to unscrew the bottom, but you're going to have to replace it with the exact same model.
Yep.
Should be just a couple of ribbon cables and a few screws.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bill.
That seems to have held.
Oh, he's pulling down the yellow, Glenn.
What's that?
Yep.
He's pulling down the yellow.
It's not the Fun King yellow though. It is IC3D, but it's their PLA. So.
Oh yeah, which is just slightly more orange.
Yeah. So it's not the official Fun King yellow.
Timothy Harkness said something's different. Did I shave? Well, yes, I did. That little white van goatee that I had trimmed it down to, I got to looking at it and go, you know what? No, we're not doing that anymore. So I just cut it all off and let it all come back the same length.
I shaved too.
We see right down the middle, right there, right?
Well, actually, I shaved all of this. But
I was going to say it's extra glossy. So
let me tell you what. I cut my hair last night before I shaved. My beard was the same length as this. That was after not shaving for a week and a half.
We should really get Chris to shave completely smooth again.
I don't think anybody wants that. All right, well, that was my successful project for the day.
Excellent.
You had a successful project for the day?
Yeah, I just fixed my key fob.
Well, I did find out something. I found out some good news. I am going to sometime in March, and I don't know when. I'll have to miss. Y'all have to get a guest. My daughter and son-in-law are coming from Arizona for the visit before they move to Alaska. So we'll be spending one weekend somewhere with them. So, but it's good news. We get to see the grandkids live and in person again. It's always a good thing.
Cool.
I thought you were saying it was good news for the audience, you know, that you wouldn't be here.
Oh, well, that's true too. So, oh man, I don't know about y'all, but it's been a pretty uneventful year so far.
I can't believe that February is almost over. Like, This year is just flying already.
The way January went, though, it feels like it ought to be July already. I didn't think January was ever going to end. But, Chris, are y'all still freezing up there in the cold north?
We have actually, yesterday and today are around, we almost made it to 60 yesterday, and we're a little over 60 today. So things are starting to look up finally.
Yeah.
So that's good. I'm pretty happy about that.
Nice and warm down at Glenn's house right now.
Tell you what, being out at Zach's baseball game last night, it was ridiculously cold. And I mean, I know that the Northerners always make fun of us Southerners. Oh, it gets down to 50 and you're so cold. It was 90 degrees out on Friday.
Yep.
And then, you know, all of a sudden, like that night, it was 40. So, but the wind was cutting so bad sitting out there. And I'd gotten my big, I have it's like a sweatshirt, but it's got like a brown woolly inner lining. I call it my Wookiee coat. But Xander was giving me crap about it. It's not that cold. You don't need that. He was freezing out there. I got my Wookiee coat on, and I'm like, I'm warm. But I wasn't. I was still cold. But, yeah, I don't know. It's not too bad today, but I try not to go outside because there's people out there.
Martin, my son-in-law is in the Air Force. That's why they're moving to Alaska. He works on F-35 fighter planes. Are you tearing apart a caliper, Glenn?
I'm changing the battery in it.
Oh. So you say, how are you going to measure the parts that you need?
Well, I picked up a I'm not going to use the term cheap. I picked up an inexpensive one because I keep this one here, and then once in a while I need it in the garage, and then I'm running back and forth all the time. So I picked up a cheap one to use out there. So I want to kind of compare and see how close they are. You know, not unofficially, because I don't have like calibration blocks or anything. So as long as they're close, I don't ever do anything in the garage that requires super accuracy.
Chris, are you still trying to tweak that thing, or are you getting it printed?
It's printing. There was a few things during the initial print that I wanted to adjust because the slicer wasn't. I just grabbed a profile and went for it. I probably should have changed a few things before I printed the first one. So I was tweaking a few quick settings here and then give it another test. It's quiet enough to print while we're streaming here. So
I don't know if y'all get this question very often, but my mom called me yesterday, and I'm not saying from your mother. I'm saying from anybody. She called me day before yesterday, and she's like, "Hey, Jeff, who's my stepdad, spilt Dr. Pepper on his laptop. Do they have any good ones at Walmart?" I'm like, hold on, let me look in my Walmart bank of inventory in my head. No.
I get stuff like that all the time.
I bet. But I'm like, Mama, you act like I know what they sell at Walmart. I haven't bought a laptop in 4 or 5 years.
My mom, all right, here's my mom's method of using Google. She picks up the phone She calls me and then she says, hey, so how do I do this? And I'm like, I don't know. According to Google, you do it like this.
Right.
That's how my mom uses Google. And that's a true story.
Did I tell y'all about my microwave? I think I told y'all about that, didn't I?
I don't know.
About the overstove microwave that I put in?
I don't think so.
No? I could have swore I told that on video.
Well, maybe not a video that I watched.
No, I did. I haven't done a live other than Fun in the Kuntry Basement, so it couldn't have been.
Start telling the story, and then I'll tell you if I've heard it.
Well, you know, my mother and them moved out of this house behind me over here. Well, they left the over the range microwave, and we didn't have one. So I'm like, I'll take that. You know, it was less than a year old.
Mm-hmm.
So I go and I measure before, you know, I do anything. So I come back over and I tear off, because all we had was, you know, the range hood, you know, the standard range hood.
Right.
So I tore all of that out and got the cabinets all ready and everything because it all fit. So then I go tear the microwave out of that, or I keep saying tear. I didn't. I dismantled it and took it out. But then I come back, you know, and I measure and level and mount it and all this stuff, and I plug it in. I had to wire a plug because the range hood was hardwired. So I wired a plug so I could just plug the microwave in and get it on, you know, put my little bowl of water in there to check it, hit the 30-second mark, and it does its thing. Ding. And I go pull it out, and the water was cold. I'm like, okay. So I stuck it back in for 30 more seconds. And ding, pulled it out, and the water was cold. I'm like, well, this ain't no good. So anyway, I got to thinking, and I go, you know what? They did have a microwave on the counter. So my mother and them, the microwave had quit working.
Oh, man.
And they had just bought one, stuck one on the counter. So I did all this work to get it in, right? So I'm like, okay, it can't be that much. It's only like 3 or 4 parts, and everything is working except for the heat, right? So I'm like, let me look. So I get on YouTube and I find, and it's like, okay, it should just be the diode. I'm like, okay, let's try that first. So it's like $5 for a diode. So I'm like, okay, we'll try that first. So I get on Amazon and I order the diode. It's $5.35. Be here 2 days. So I'm like, okay, cool. Then I get to looking. It's like, well, it could be the capacitor too. And I'm like, okay, that's $8.35. I'll go ahead and order that too. Then I get to looking. It could be the magnetron, which is $35. I didn't order that, right? So I'm like, okay, wait, let me get the other parts in first. If it doesn't work, I'm out for $13.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'm like, okay, so how do I test this? So I go back and I watch some YouTube videos on how to test, because you got to do a 9-volt battery and some things to test the diode and all this other stuff. So I go pull it all apart. I don't have to take it down, take the faceplate off. There's no capacitor nor diode in the microwave. They're just not there. The wires are just hanging there.
That would explain why it didn't work.
Right. So I called my stepdad and I'm like, hey, why did the guy take the diode and the capacitor? He's like, well, it said when we had it checked, he said it would cost more to get it fixed than it would to buy a new microwave. I'm like, well, okay, if it's these 3 things, that's only about $50 worth of parts, right? So it can't be that bad. Anyway, it kept bugging me. And I still had these on order. So I'm like, okay. Then I get to thinking, I'm like, you know what? We have one of these in a shed somewhere. My dad picked it up somebody gave it to him. It was an above stove microwave. I don't know if it works or not. Let's go look. So I go over and look, and the one they had was a Whirlpool. This is a GE. They're about the same. So I'm like, okay, let's take it apart. So I take this one apart. Sure enough, there's a diode and a capacitor. I'm like, sweet. So I go back. I take that one down off of the wall and all that, get it back in the kitchen floor and take it all apart, put the diode in the capacitor in there. And I'm like, well, let me test it before I put it in there. So I get an extension cord, plug it in. Man, I plugged it in and hit the go button. And it went, I mean, just a crazy racket, right? It sounded like Back to the Future when the car takes off or something. So I'm like, what the crap? And I had already put the cover back on it. I said, well, let me take the cover off of it and let me watch. And sure enough, sparks were going everywhere inside this microwave, right? I'm like, oh, crap. You know what? Hold on. I'm like, you know what? There was no no capacitor or diode there, so I may have wired it wrong. Right. So then I go over and I watch this YouTube video, and sure enough, I had the wires backwards, which is, it really shouldn't have done what it was doing. But then I get over there and there's a dead palmetto bug in behind the circuit board that's shorting out the circuit board. Right. So I take a screwdriver, and he's so crisp, he just breaks apart when I touch him, just crumbles. Right. So anyway, I put it all back in there, and I put my water in there, and I'm sitting there watching it. I hit the start button, and the little thing goes around. I pull out the water, and the water was hot. Didn't cost me a dime after all that, but it was an adventure in living. I'm just going to tell you.
Walter also.
Now we have an above stove. We have an above stove microwave with the vent duct and all that stuff in it and all that. It's really nice. And it's stainless steel like the rest of our appliances, so I was really happy. But it was just fun. Go ahead. Sorry, Chris.
So you should have made a video.
You know what you should? In your mind, think of that face when I first realized that microwave didn't work after doing all that work to tear cabinets down and level everything and that water comes out cold. I'm like,
yeah, like you're the first person to ever be in that situation.
No, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Mike, you're right. I should video everything. The problem is about the time I think about it, I'm done.
Yeah, I thought about getting like a body cam.
Yeah.
And like a forehead camera and just record everything I do, because you just never know.
Yeah, right, Pete. See, you're right. I did let out some of them words. But it's hilarious, man. I mean, because I've already told everybody that I'm not going to do the country living channel. I'm going to do everything on my Kuntry 3D channel. So we're going to do that. But I did do the video of the drinking around the world. So I've got the parts of that coming. I don't know what else we did on that video. I was after drinking around the world because we started at like 10:30 in the morning. I need one of those drones that follows me. I've got one of those, and I was supposed to do a video on it, and I never did. But no, I mean, really, truthfully, though, I mean, you think about it. Chris, Glenn, you think about it. If you were to set up and film you putting your lights together, Glenn, or Chris, you're working on the car in the garage, and you're trying to film the angles, how aggravating would that be? It's okay to come in and do it in your studio where you're at working on something.
When you're in the studio, everything takes 10 times longer.
Right.
When you're trying to get video. I mean, absolutely it takes longer. But my thought is if you can just always have a camera pointing at whatever you're working on, even if it's somewhat distant, had that microwave like epically exploded,
right,
you wouldn't have had video of that.
Yeah, but my wife wouldn't have known how to like post it if I'd have died. I mean, really and truthfully though, outdoors especially, man, I have the utmost respect for those guys that do that crap, because I watch these shows where they're doing things like that, and they set all these shots up, and they do it over and over again, and I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, that's why you need a cameraman and a producer.
Well, I've tried getting Regina to film stuff, but every time I look at her, she's like looking over somewhere else. And the camera's not pointed at me. I'm like, did you get that? She's like, no, I was looking at Facebook. What's wrong with y'all? But I've got a shed to move. I've got actually got a carport to move, a shed to move. I want to film those. And I really want to film them right this time from different angles and cut it together and that type of thing. 24/7 GoPro. Yeah, that'd be nice.
I've toyed with the idea. Well, I've actually talked to some people about it, of just farming out all the editing for the videos.
Yeah.
In your opinions, what's the best way to move that data? Because I mean, those files are like 8-9 gig a piece.
Yeah, I mean, the only way I could see to do it would be in the cloud. I mean, just to have a cloud drive that you save stuff to.
Have an S3 bucket or something.
Have your ass in the house and just give links to the editor. I think
Well,
that's
see,
how Joel. I think that's how Joel and Sean used to move stuff.
Well, I know I've got the Microsoft one, the OneDrive, and I've got a terabyte worth of storage on it.
Yeah.
And I mean, as long as you were taking them off when you were done with the editing and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
that's a lot of data.
No, Clint, I have not. I've told her about it, but we've been kind of busy this weekend too.
Make her test the candy. That's hard.
Trying to start the microwave into a Star Trek transporter. I can't even finish a friggin' Stargate, much less turn a microwave into a transporter. Yeah, there you go. Mad Monkey's got it right. You know, the commercial Dropbox. The only thing, and I don't know how much time you spend editing, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Too much.
I mean, do what?
Too much.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess, you know, when you're like the household name that Chris Riley is, you make the money to pay somebody to edit your video.
That's right.
But
but what you have to do, you have to find somebody who is getting into editing and they're good enough to do it, but not good enough to really do it and get paid for it. And then it's like one of those deals. Hey, you do my editing and then I give you props.
Yeah.
And I mean, those are few and far between though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And then, you know, like sometimes I know you guys don't watch my stuff either, but the latest MakerBox video, making that MakerBox float in across the room and land on the bench took an exceptionally long amount of time.
Yeah. I was going to say, how long did that take?
I had to film that. Let me tell you, it was done by green screen, but you have to have really good lighting to do proper green screen stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There is still, like when you watch, there's still like a kind of a weird spot kind of in the beginning, but I was just tired of filming that thing floating across the room. So I don't know. It took way long. But see, like I could have made that video. The MakerBox videos would go so much quicker because we shoot that. There's no editing in the video.
Right.
Like we just shoot that, and it is how it is. You know, like I might go in if I say something like this past month I said, you know, I don't know if these QR codes are scannable when I hold them up to the camera. Well, I tried it, so I threw text up in there, and I said, "Yep, it sure works." You know, I was able to freeze frame and do it with my phone. But so like that little bit of editing, no big deal. It's those intros that take forever. So like it was probably like 2 hours worth of editing to get it just how I wanted it. And then Xander's like, it looks cheesy. And I'm like, how much budget do you think I got?
But no, what software do you guys use to edit in?
I have the Photoshop subscription or Adobe Premiere. Yeah. Yeah. It's $20 a month. I mean,
yeah.
And you do the same thing, Glenn?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Come here.
Yeah.
I edit everything in Power Director.
Really?
Yeah.
Because what was it? Hit Film Express to me was the one I was using before Premiere, and they're similar. It's similar to Premiere.
Yeah. Power Director is super fast. That's just one of those things too. I mean, I've kind of got everything down to trying to maximize, the speed of things, recording the video and editing to go faster. Premiere just chugs. I've tried to use it over the years.
Yeah. Well, Xander uses it as well, and now I don't know if he's done it since I built him a new computer, a new computer, but it's like he's 16 gigs of RAM now on an i7, so like it should be better. But on his machine, it's super painful, and he has to reboot before he uses it, and then reboot immediately after using it. So, but like it is definitely not fast, but it does what I need it to do. I've been meaning to check out that DaVinci Resolve and just haven't done it. But 3D Jimmy said, "Have you ever heard of fishing line?" I've used fishing line before. I wanted something different. I don't know how to make the fishing line go away. Of course, I'm using like 100-pound test line, but you know, like I wanted to try green screen. So, and this is how I shouldn't give away all my secrets, but here's a little behind the scenes. This is my green screen. That would be Dollar Tree poster board. And I had the maker box taped to that, and I just carried it in like, and then I edited out all the background. I masked around the box, around the maker box, and then I used the keying to get rid of the green. Happy
Chris,
Rod.
how much is the one that you're the power director? How much was that?
I've actually purchased it twice. I ended up with I got like version 16 and version 18. I think they're somewhere like $80, but that's that's lifetime.
Yeah, I have the other. What's the one that used to do soap operas with it? Crap, I can't remember the name of it now. Let me see. Pinnacle Studio.
Pinnacle. Yeah, and I was going to mention that one. It's pretty straightforward as well.
It is.
But there was some reason that I didn't like. Uncle Ron gave me a copy or something, and I tried to use it, but there was some reason that I didn't go with that one. I spent like 3 weeks trying out 10 different editing software, trying to find one that I liked. And there was some reason I didn't go that route, and I went Power Director instead. And Power Director, it's video editing software, so it has its downsides. I mean, some things it just it'll crash or whatever. But it's super fast to get in there. If you assign your hotkeys, you can go through there and cut it all up and trash what you don't need, and it's just a lot faster for me to use.
Yeah, because I've been thinking about dropping my Premiere because I don't do enough video editing to. I've been paying for it for what 5-6 months now and haven't cut a video together with it. So
yeah,
you're talking $120 right there wasted that I haven't done anything with.
Yep.
So. And the one-time fee stuff I like better,
Yeah.
So. No, but as far as farming it out, I mean, I couldn't see doing it because I don't do enough of it. Now, if I get in and my wife actually starts doing like she's supposed to, right? Then yeah, I mean, I would edit more, but really and truthfully, yeah, I don't have.
I don't know. I don't know how that would work. And we probably said this a million times, but you would have to have the right working relationship with your editor to be able to get it how you want, or you just have to say, okay, it's all you, go for it. Or one or the other.
Give them a ton of notes as far as, around about this point, when I say this, I want you to put in this image but I would think that for you to even lay it out the way you want it, you might as well just get in there and do it.
Well, that's the whole thing. If I have to spend time with the metadata to get somebody else to edit it,
right?
I might as well just by the time I truck the footage to a Dropbox or whatever, and then give them the notes. Well, I could have had this done by now.
Yeah.
Shane said that Preston Press Reset charges $10 per 1 minute of edited video.
And see, that doesn't sound unreasonable to me.
No, but again, okay, so on a 2-minute video, which would cost you $20, no big deal. But again, by the time you laid everything out, just edit it yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would like to find a way. I've sacrificed quality for speed on video and audio, I think, as much as I can. So I can film them pretty fast, but I would like to find a way to give me more time for testing. I spend a ton of time testing things, printing things, actually doing the work before you make the video. But then to take away from that time to go sit down and edit it and process it and make your thumbnail and all that, it takes forever. I wish I could be a little more thorough on the actual content than the packaging the content up. But I really don't know the best way to get that done.
Yeah, me either.
I got nothing. I was doing 2 videos a week there forever, and now I'm only doing 1. But it seems like it's just as hard to get the videos done, even though there's half as many to do. So I don't know.
Hey, guess what Tuesday is?
Day after Monday.
It is, but there's a special thing happening on Tuesday.
What's that?
That'll be my 2-week period not vaping.
Oh, all right.
Awesome.
Yeah, we even made the trip to Disney. I drove all the way there and all the way back. Not one puff off of a vape. Didn't even take it with me. So Regina's still vaping.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Lego Masters. You guys caught up?
Yes.
Yep. You both seen the last.
Everybody in the audience is.
That's okay. Don't listen. I mean, no, listen, but don't. Anyway. So I have to say, I'm not super into TV at all, really. I mean, I watch some shows and, it's on and I follow a few things here and there, but I'm not a big TV guy. But the Lego Master Show, since we know somebody that's on it, I was like nail biting on Wednesdays. I'm like, oh no, but they pulled it out. But I was pretty upset. So we'll see what happens.
Well,
I haven't seen it.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah, my issue with the show, like, they kind of dig on the whole reality thing. Like, Will Arnett will make jokes about, oh, well, this is reality TV, so I have to have a dramatic moment right here. But yet, you can tell that they stuffed the drama into it.
Yeah.
So, like, they're filming, and something happens, and somebody reacts or whatever, and then they cut to the interview of the people that are talking about it as though it's happening right then, but they're wearing completely different clothing. And then they're back to the, like, I don't know if it's just bad production rate, if they don't care, but it's like, we don't need the drama. Just the show premise is awesome. If you're going to tune into that, you're going to tune into that.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need the drama. And then, yeah, I don't want to, because there might be people that haven't seen it, so I don't want to give away too much. But this week's, the 2 people that were on the chopping block, the 2 females that were on the chopping block shouldn't have been.
Yeah,
I think it was just their turn. I mean, there's no way what they built was worth that kind of negativity.
Yeah.
And again, I might be biased.
Well, I think we are, but
I mean, it's really hard to watch that show and not root for them.
Yeah, well, like I said before, I don't think I'd watch it. I mean, it's really not that interesting to me. But now I have a vested interest,
Well, and then last week's, we didn't watch last week's and this week's until last night. We just got caught up last night, actually. But last week's, the 2 groups that were on the chopping block, I was okay with either one of them getting cut. And then when it was the people who did, I said to Grisella, I said, I don't know how I feel. I mean, I'm glad that they got cut, but I kind of wanted the other people to get cut too.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, Mike said fake drama is the formula for reality TV. But like this is I don't know, and maybe it's just because I'm a fan of Lego. Like the things that they do, the challenges that they do. And I like Will Arnett. I think he's really a funny guy. I like that he digs on himself all the time. So,
yeah. Shane, Chris, I feel you don't understand Lego. I don't even know what that means. I mean, when he said that on the show, I was like, what are you talking about? You mean I don't understand the premise of sticking plastic blocks together? Is that what I don't get?
Think about it is every time Chris gets Lego kits, he's like, I could have used this as filament.
Grind these up and
you know what?
How this works?
Chris, you need to right now. You need to make a Lego benchy that will actually snap onto a block.
I have toyed with that a couple of times. You know, there's the Lego site. You send them a file and then they Lego ties whatever you send them.
right.
The benchy had too many triangles or something. I tried to get it done and it would crash the web page or whatever. I need to go back and figure that out. Like, what do they call that when you reduce the number of polygons or what? I don't remember what that's called, but go back and try it again. That would be awesome if I could get little benchy sets.
Yeah. I think you could but I think you could like just take a because they're still out there. I think some of them didn't get deleted whenever Lego was wiping everybody out.
Yeah.
And you could get one of those and just do it so that it'll just snap onto a block. I think that would be cool.
Well, you know, like they injection mold a little boat, and then it's got studs on the top that you can click on. So like the hull, you could have injection molded and then build the top of it out of Lego.
Yeah.
Whew. Sergio sent me a picture of a really clogged hot end. That's impressive.
Show it. Can you show it?
Rapolos asked if he said he's wondering if there's polyethylene or PVC filaments. Well, the problem with PVC filaments is you would die from the fumes from heating it up.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be like super. I don't know polyethylene, but I know PVC is very toxic when heated.
That is an impressive clog.
Oh, it's pretty good. I mean,
I've seen worse.
I have seen worse, but in fact, I gummed up the AM8 so bad one time it actually like engulfed the wind mouth into the clog, which I have that around here somewhere. But like it completely just melted the wind mouth, except for the part that went to the fan was still sticking out outside of the clog.
Chris, you can turn off your screen share.
You're not. You can. I thought when you canned it.
No,
that turned it off. There you go. You can read my emails if you want.
No, it was like really tiny. I'd have to add it back to the screen, and zoom in.
If you would answer them for me, I'd be really appreciative.
No. I don't like answering mine.
I hear you. Yeah.
Bennett said his biggest clog had like 400 to 500 grams of plastic involved. It's just the whole spool hanging there.
Yeah.
That's what happened when I put the PLA in the oven.
Hey man, you know what? We're almost at 97 people watching on my channel. That's freaking awesome.
That's ridiculous.
I know.
That's awesome.
Hey,
People
some of y'all
don't have a
stream, so I don't have as many showing up here.
Well, we should let everybody know too that the reason that we weren't here last week is all Walter's fault.
It was my fault. There's absolutely no ifs, ands, or buts. I tweeted the guys and said, "Look, I like my wife better than I like y'all." So I'm happy.
In fairness, I guess it's not 100% your fault. It's like 99% because you did give Chris and I the option to go on without you.
I did.
But it was too late to find a guest.
Hey, we've done it without a guest before.
I know. It just doesn't feel right without three. Because then I have to pay more attention.
James said, grow my beard back. I look wrong.
Which James?
Your brother, James.
My brother from another mother. Who I'm going to see in like just a month from now. I'm so excited.
That's coming up quick. Well, it's less than 40 days or something.
Somebody said 40 days.
So Xander and I are having a little bit of a of an issue as far as we don't know if we want to fly up or if we want to just drive up. I don't know if you guys can hear him rambling over there, but he really wants to fly because he wants to fly. He's only been on a plane once, which is when we went to New York. And I said to him, I said, the only problem with flying is chances are there's no White Castle between the airport and Goshen. And he's like, oh. So it's like, do we spend 18 hours in a car so we can eat White Castle? Looks like Joseph Payne has just subscribed. Thank you, sir. It's much appreciated.
I can confirm I stopped on the way out of Chicago and got White Castle on my way to Goshen last year.
Okay, so if we fly into Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about flying into Indianapolis.
Yeah.
If I can avoid Illinois at any cost.
Yeah, I don't know about Indy. I flew into Midway, and it wasn't too bad.
Midway.
Chicago, yeah.
I thought that was O'Hare.
They have O'Hare too, but
okay, so Chicago and then O'Hare is up here. Well,
yeah, Midway's like about as far south as you can go.
Oh, that might be a better option.
Yeah, it's definitely better than O'Hare.
Other problem with flying is being in an airborne tin can with 200 other disease vectors. Bye, Paul. Thanks for being here, buddy. James says, I've never eaten White Castle. Is it any good? No, absolutely not.
That's not the word for it.
It comes out as fast as it goes in, hence why they call them sliders. But, man, I dig them.
Carl got you on that one, buddy.
Well, I think he kind of got both of us on that one.
Well, it's what I have and you don't, though.
Right, but it's old hair.
Yeah, I'm not denying that.
So your hair is old and mine isn't.
Right.
Because I have some here, and it's
that
less.
would be old hair as well. Then
it's less old than yours.
Martin says it's horrible horse crap.
Oh yeah, Martin did not. So Uncle Ron took him to get White Castle, and he was like excited to try. Did not enjoy it whatsoever. Oh, good times.
I was watching a show the other day, and I thought about Martin. It was something about they were mapping the volcanoes in Iceland or the ice fields for where the crevasse and where do you fall. They were doing with drones. I'm like, where's Martin? Isn't he like the guy that does this? He should be on this show.
Right.
Yes, we need more of our friends on TV.
That's right.
I thought about him the other day. There's an airplane. It's manufacturer in Austria or somewhere, Czechoslovakia. I don't know where it's at. France, somewhere. Anyway, they were doing a trip over to Canada, and they landed in Reykjavik or whatever the name of that place is.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh,
Reykjavik.
I think that's where Martin flies out of.
Yep.
So I thought of him too as the same thing. Because I told Regina, I said, with Destiny graduating next year, us paying our house off and most of our other stuff being paid off, I said, I want to get my pilot license. Then we can just fly to places we want to go.
Yeah.
But I got to looking, and like them flying from Florida to Washington State, they had to make like 6 or 7 landings in a small Cessna or whatever. And I'm like, and they're talking about, 14 gallons an hour for gas or something. And when it's $6 a gallon or something like that,
Yeah, my next door neighbor has his pilot's license, but he doesn't fly anymore just because it's so ridiculously expensive.
Yeah. And I thought about a helicopter, and I'm like, no. At least with a plane, I can glide, maybe. And a lot of these come with the cap system. They have a parachute on them, so you can, reach up and hit that parachute thing.
Helicopters glide too, just straight down.
Yeah, right. Yeah. They were saying there's a bunch of White Castles around Indianapolis too. If you drove in there.
Yeah, I haven't actually looked. I could probably Google that, but
You're right, old curmudgeon. You're right. When you're doing 128 miles an hour, I mean, but still, on 14 gallons of gas, I can do 400 miles in my car. So, yeah, not saving any money by flying, just time.
When I went to just a note for you, when I went to stream today on YouTube, they have changed it yet again. There is no go live button anymore. You just hit the start and it will automatically go live, but you still have to manually end it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm so tired of YouTube screwing with stuff.
Yeah, well, I did get the message that starting something, you can't go to the old Creator Studio anymore at all. They're going to turn it off completely.
No, I didn't see that one, but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, no, it's coming soon.
When you upload a video, I don't use the new uploader. I still use the classic uploader because I use TubeBuddy, and TubeBuddy works better with the classic uploader. So I hate when they change stuff.
Yeah. Jay Griffiths asked me what about a motorized glider? I don't think Regina would like that. No, I don't believe she would like that. And I told her, I said, well, you didn't like flying because you didn't like not being able to get up and get around, move around and all that stuff. She's like, yeah, but I can vape if it's our plane. I'm like, okay, then. We'll just crack a window.
Yeah, just crack the window. I was just getting ready to say that. Just crack the window. It'll be fine.
So I think because of the threads on my my pin to probe, like I can get it where it feels either like a little too tight to the bed or a little too loose to the bed. Which one's better?
As long as you're
adjusting the offset for it, you mean?
Yeah. I'm setting it to the thickness of the zip tie.
Yeah.
So you're either a little less than the thickness of the zip tie or a little more, you mean?
Yeah, like when you move, like you can feel it clicking through the threads. It's like I'm trying to move it up and down because I can't screw it in and out.
Well, I think as long as you set your offset, I don't really guess it's going to matter that.
So as long as it's close, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Yeah, you have probably on that one. You probably have a millimeter of space for offset, so you should be either way. It should be fine.
Yeah, because I've always set it to the tight side. So this time I'm going more to the loose side.
Yeah, and that should be just fine. Like Martin said, it gives you more better clearance from the bed. So
always wanted to ask about it, never thought about it.
Yeah. We did get some bad news from our school district the other day.
You don't like bad news.
Well, and I'd said before that I got this artillery from TH3D, so I'm basically going to have to put it together on my channel, take it over and take a picture for him to use for promotional. I did get permission to do that as long as the kids sign off and their parents are okay with the promotional thing. But they're not going to get to keep it. They're not going to get to use it.
That sucks.
It does. So bad.
For legal reasons?
Insurance reasons.
Yeah, safety reasons.
So apparently the ones they get, what are they? The maker bots or whatever?
Yeah.
They have some, I mean, they're the way the insurance works or whatever, those have a bond on them if they burn the school down or whatever. So I was fighting to try to get them printers, and they just won't accept what, the community's offering up. So really sucks.
So I was thinking the other day, I've got quite a few printer reviews to do, but one of the printers that I would like to make a video taking a closer look at is the Lulzbot Mini. and it's the original one. What do you think about kind of let's look at this from the past kind of video, compared to what we have today? Because I don't really know the current status of Lulzbot, if the new company is already selling machines or what they're doing, but it wouldn't be even close to what they were selling now, probably, other than, the same frame or whatever. But I don't know. I thought it was, well, here's the Lulzbot Mini. Here's when it came out. Here's how much age it has. And, let's just take a look. Because it does some really unusual things that never kind of made it forward in the printer space. So I thought it might be an interesting video.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I would watch it.
Yeah, I think it's still worth to take a look at. And Lulzbot at the price point for what you get, it seems ridiculous. And it might just be a fact that it is. I don't know one way or the other, really. But there are things that that Lulzbot did at that time that were pretty innovative. So I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted after owning one and using one. I'm kind of conflicted about the whole thing, really.
Well, here, Carl asked a good question here. I'm trying to show it. There it is.
Hung a lot of people out to try to. Well, I mean, I'm not really giving the company any attention. I bought it secondhand, and I'm not promoting that. But I look at it as I'm showing technology that's out there that people might use, and showing what they did, and comparing it to what we're doing now. That's what I'm most interested in. I would never have an affiliate link or anything like that for Lulzbot, but
yeah, it's not necessarily about the actual printer itself or the company itself.
Because Lulzbot was completely open source. I mean, all their stuff was available like in a build every day or something. I mean, they did a lot of sharing. So to see kind of what it did from then and comparing it now, I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know. But I get what you're saying about, leaving people hanging when they close. That's not cool, but
yeah, but I mean, who was it? Coach Spurrier said that at South Carolina. When it's time to go, it's time to go. It's not time to prolong it. It's time to shut the door.
Yeah,
you're gonna hurt some people, but it beats getting a lot of parts or whatever, and then going, oh, I can't pay you. If you say, hey, I'm gonna buy this many parts next year, and that company's depending on it, and then you go, oh, nope, we're going to close. There's a difference there,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I might try to work something up because I'm kind of interested by it, why they did what they did and how they did it. So maybe the videos that are always better are the ones that you actually wanted to make. So we'll see how it goes.
But no, I mean, I would enjoy videos like that.
Yeah.
Because I will tell you, I mean, and I know there's 3D printing content out there, but from the people that I watch, if you look at my history right now, there's like 5 3D printers in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks that I've watched 3D printing videos.
Yeah.
That I went and watched, not live streams or whatever, because I'll pop into a live stream every now and again, but just to watch a video. There's only a handful in the past 3 weeks or a month that I've even watched. Like I said, I've been watching videos about airplanes, manufacturing and stuff like that. It's just,
yeah.
Because they're, and I don't want to say this is not a bad thing, because they're monotonous.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're a Chris Riley video that's showing you new technology or a different board or something like that, you can only watch so many reviews of XYZ printer. Or
that's very true.
You know what I mean? Even Joel in his last video I was telling you about earlier, at least on his, when he opened it up, he's like, you know what? The unboxing videos are done to death. And he's like, Sean, jazz it up. And they, they do like a montage of the opening or something. And that's cool. That was fun to watch.
Yeah.
But then the video itself just yeah, I didn't make it all the way to the end.
Yes and no. I mean, yes, unboxing videos, there's a bazillion of them out there, but like if you're unboxing a product that nobody else has, it's helpful to the people that want to know what's in there.
No, I get that, man.
You know, so somebody still has to do it, even if it's been done to death.
Well, and what I'm saying is, though, once you've watched one or two of them, you don't need to watch the other 10.
Right.
That's what I was talking about. Not that there's too many of them out there, but you can only watch so many before you yourself are going to go, okay, I'm not watching another one. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm just not going to. You know, even if it's 10 of your buddies or people that you know that are putting those videos out, you're going to go, no.
Yeah, I don't even watch Xander's videos.
I don't blame you.
He must not be listening to me.
Honestly, I can say that there's content that I make that it's just because people ask me to make it. I wouldn't watch it. You know,
Right.
It's not interesting.
Do you watch your own content? I mean, I don't go back and watch my own stuff.
Well, I mean, I like when I'm editing it, it's like this video is really boring. You know? I would not watch this. It's too long, and I would not sit there and listen to me tell me how to do something. That's not the content I would gravitate towards.
No, the ones that I have a hard time with is when you tune into a video to see, you know, like, I'm going to show you how to replace the batteries in this mouse. And you're like, great. So I got this mouse, and when the UPS guy brought it, he parked his truck on the other side of the. It's like, I don't care. Just show me how to do what I came to see.
My wife and I were given a gift this weekend, and I will tell you that my wife tried to help me, and it would have been a hilarious video for us to put up because a 70-inch TV is heavy.
Oh, yes.
Heavy.
And awkward.
Well, and where I have to hang it, I have a cabinet on each side, and there's a shelf in the front that has my stereo and all the other stuff on it. So it's like back like 2 feet. So you have to lean. It would have been hilarious to watch because I was cussing and she was like, you ain't got to yell at me. I'm like, yes, I do. Or I'd be like breaking stuff.
Yeah, my TV that hangs in the great room, it's a full motion bracket. It pulls out and turns and all kinds of, but the mounting is only like this wide. It's 2 grooves that the screws drop into, and you have to have it exactly right. It'll feel like it's on there, but it's not.
Right.
So then even like when you get it in, you're like, is it in? You know, and you're like tapping it to see if it's gonna fall. You know, like, oh my God, it's so unnerving. So I bought another one, and I have it sitting in the closet, a different mount, so that the next time that TV comes down, so does that mount. I hate that thing.
Yeah. And Sean Gould put in the chat, and how many Creality clones do we need to see? Well, what on top of that, I will take that even further. Creality is a clone as well.
Right.
I mean, this is our life here, basically. This is the environment that we are in. It's just it just keeps snowballing, and that's my life, basically. Creality clones. Hey, you want to try this? Okay, that's no good. Throw it over your shoulder. You want to try this? Okay. No, that's no good. Throw it over your shoulder. I mean, it's garbage in, garbage out. I mean, that's just how things go sometimes.
Somebody posted up earlier, said more Ender 3 content, not unboxing Ender 3s. Yes. So I'm like, okay, but if I want to watch Ender 3 content, guess what? I go to Brian's video.
Or Chuck Hellebuck.
Or Chuck Hellebuck, I guess, if you want to watch those. But
Yep.
Brian Vines has been putting out some great videos with the Ender 3 stuff.
Brian Vines. That name's familiar, but I don't know who you're talking about.
I know he's not here very often because he's gotten so popular himself. He's just doing his thing now. But I watch those, you know, and then when Chris's videos comes up, I don't have an SKR board. I don't need to know about that. It's good to know when I get one, if I get one, that I can go watch Chris's videos and learn how to set it up.
Yep.
But other than that, I mean, unless it's a printer I'm thinking about getting, or that's in a box, or that I've already purchased, I don't go look up YouTube videos about it.
Right.
You know, I do it about fixing microwaves, and then I wire them backwards, and they make Back to the Future noises.
James said that explains why he's always here.
Right?
Bennett, 3D Maker Kid asks, are there any high quality 20-foot printer cables? 20 feet is pretty long for a USB cable. It's going to start to get sketchy. But if you want to go 20 feet, it's called Cat6 Ethernet and a Raspberry Pi.
Yep.
Dude, I don't know why you're not already running through Octoprint. Stop printing directly to your printer from your PC.
Well, Nappin said that's the boring part of 3D printers now. It's kind of stopped development. Yes and no. I mean, you if you think about it, the Prusa Mini is like some other printers that we've had in the past. The firmware may be better tuned. It may have a better part or a better board or quieter or something on it, but it's a design we've already seen.
Yep.
The i3 style printer is done to death. The Hypercubes, the cube printers are done to death. The biggest thing, what was it not too long ago, was the actual 3D printing, where you like followed the thing. But then you can't have a wind mouth on it, as Glenn calls them. You just gotta have like a nozzle.
That is the official term. I didn't make that up.
I would call it a fan duct. I wouldn't call it a wind mouth.
Well, apparently you've never read the assembly manual for the ANET AA.
No, I have not.
It is a video.
It was more informative. But yeah, I mean, I guess Nappin's right in that aspect. Because really and truthfully, in FDM print, they've gotten better. But as far as innovative designs and this type of thing, are they that different?
No, it's all pretty much the same technology.
I mean, yeah, the Railcore's supposedly a great printer because it's got rails on everything and it levels the bed to the nozzle instead of, doing a mesh grid where it goes up and down. But it's still just a cube printer.
Yeah,
the noise that my microwave made. I don't know whose microphone that was, but that's the noise that the microwave made when I plugged it in. I just heard. Did you hear that, Chris?
Yeah, it's like.
Was it the printer?
It was your mic and the printer, some magnetic interference or something.
Did the printer just kick on?
It's just moving.
It's almost like your mic got just a little bit more sensitive or something.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Anyway.
Yeah, I heard that too. I was like, what was that?
And that's what my microwave sounded like, though, was that light between the Tesla coils type sound.
I'm going to have to go back and watch the feed so I can hear it. 514. I'm going to make note of that with my Chris Riley pen.
Captain's got it right. It's a few step better hardware, but it's almost no development as far as the printers go. The hardware's gotten better. The software is getting better with Scott Latine and those guys working on it, and Prusa and those guys working on it. It's getting better, but it's minute better.
Yeah. Well, too, that there's a lot of people working on really cool stuff that isn't the same thing, but they're not content creators,
Yeah.
So we don't see it.
Right.
I've mentioned him half a dozen times. Daniel Halverson has some crazy designs, that you'll probably never see, but they're different. He's trying. The hang printer was like that. He's not a content creator. Tom did one thing on it, and it's just out there.
Well, what was it? The Gear Down for What guy? He actually got a job with Tesla, right? Didn't he go to work with Tesla?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I saw that the other day. I mean, that's so super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so funny when I met Ross. It was in one of the Friday night hangout chats, and all of a sudden here's this guy and I had no idea who he was. And like he's talking, I'm like, well, this guy seems pretty cool. And I go check out his channel. He's got over 50,000 subscribers. And so I'm like, Ross, man, I feel really bad that I didn't know who you were.
He's one of a handful of people that this happened to me, but he was at Murph 19. And I walked up to him and I was like, hey, Ross, man, I really like your videos, you know, and what you've done. Some of that stuff's really interesting. And he looked at me like I had lobsters coming out my ears. He had no idea who I was, just not any clue at all. I mean, he was nice about it, you know, but nope. I don't know this guy.
Well, that's cool.
He was nice enough, but I do like what he makes. He makes some pretty funny stuff. When they lifted the car with that thing, that was that was the best.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Again, making with Luke. Luke is one of the sharpest people that I know. I don't know. He's probably 16 or 17 now, but he makes some crazy stuff, and it's new.
Well, and that's the thing, though. That's what it's going to take is that generation.
Yeah,
that's coming up, because not that we're not going to be innovative, but we've been watching this for 3-5 years, whatever. This is our paradigm right here. He doesn't have one, so he can shift that. You know, my daughter and I had a interesting conversation the other day, and she was, and it was on the topic of like saving the planet and all this other stuff. And I said, look, my job is to make my kids better than me. I've done that. Y'all are all better people than I am. Now go do your thing. Mine's on the downhill side of slowing down. So go do your thing, you know? So, and she was like, you know, I never thought of that. I never thought of, you know, up until you get to your, you know, 40s, 50s, whatever, you're doing your thing. But then you look at your kids and you go, okay, it's your turn now. My job is done. Go do your thing.
Yeah.
I don't have the energy to go do that anymore. Oh, and 3D Maker Kid says he's 19.
19. Okay.
Martin says he's a genius, I believe.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I was standing there talking to him and a couple of those guys, and they got into, you know, algorithms and talking about, you know, how the math would work on such. I was like, I got to get out of here, guys. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I have no idea what you guys are saying.
Tristan said the biggest development in printers and materials is in the industrial side of things, and he's right. He's absolutely right. That's where the money's at. I mean, when I was watching something on Vice actually did something not too long ago. It's just like last week or something. And they did a video on industrial 3D printing, and it's just amazing the stuff that they're doing, because now it's gotten beyond prototyping. They're using it for production. And once it started being used for production, you'll see it ramp up a lot faster, you know?
Yeah.
One of the things that I thought was really cool, and I can't ever remember the name of that guy. He's Russian or Ukraine or something. He was doing the SLA printer, but he was going to do it on a layer of liquid instead of going all the way to the FEP. He was going to float it in, like, the liquid above was where he was going to start, so you wouldn't have that sticking, right?
Right.
Well, then on this video, there's an industrial printer that does that now, that has a layer of liquid at the bottom that just goes down, and that's its first layer of SLA, so it never sticks to the film. It can do massive things because there's no sticking.
Have you, not to change subjects abruptly, but you made me think about, have you seen the technology where it uses multiple lasers coming in and it spins?
Yeah. And
it can print a solid object in seconds.
Seconds, right? In that gel, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Have you not seen that, Chris?
I'd like to see that technology take off.
I don't know that I've ever seen any footage of it or anything. I know we've talked about it a couple of times, but
I think the MIT guys I think it's from MIT, and they have a video out.
Cool.
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure it's from MIT, but pretty close. It's one of those. It's one of the techs or something like that has it out there. Old curmudgeon said he's in his 40s and still has a decade. Well, that's Glenn too. Glenn's in his early 70s and he's got quite a few years left too.
70s in IQ. Oh wait.
Yeah. Mad Monkey said MIT is correct, but yeah, they have a video of it actually working, and I think it's like 15 seconds. It prints the entire thing.
Yeah, but it's tiny, whatever they're printing. Like
Yeah,
they printed a 20 that was just like tiny like this, but still, you know.
It uses the same technology as the guys that do the glass etching that etches inside of glass.
Okay, yeah.
It uses that exact same technology where it basically etches inside the gel, but it hardens it inside the gel, which is really cool.
Yeah, like they know how long to keep the laser on so that they know how far it's going. Right. Like, so if we run the laser for this exact amount of time, it's going to stop, an inch in and then harden the resin. It's pretty amazing. I actually came up with the concept and gave it to MIT, but I didn't want to brag.
The cool thing with those are, though, they will make their way to the consumer market. Sooner or later, they'll get to us.
Well, again, I mean, the first time I heard about 3D printing was like way back in the 90s. I guess, which is when like the first one was ever built, which that thing, if you've ever seen pictures of it, is horrendous.
Right.
But, and I mean, in that article that I read, they were talking about how you would one day have one at home, like a regular appliance. And if you broke the knob on your toaster, you would reach out to the company, they would mail you the file and you'd print a new knob for your toaster. And that was, over 30 years ago. So yeah, eventually we'll get everything. It just,
I don't know, man. I don't know about transporters.
It'll happen.
Molecular transportation. But what was that movie where the
Fly?
Huh?
The Fly?
No, not The Fly. Not The Fly. The other one, with Hugh Jackman and what's his name? Christian Bale. Where they were two magicians fighting against each other. And the one guy had the Presidio or whatever it was. But that guy, every time he stepped into it, right, it was making a copy of him. So then they had to kill the old one.
I don't know if I ever seen that movie.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it. But it's something like that. But it was The Prestige. That's it. The Prestige. You need to watch that movie because that's at the end. Well, now I done told you the end of the damn movie. So you don't need to watch it. But yeah, I mean, it was crazy. It really was crazy because this guy was doing this magic trick on stage and nobody could figure out how he was doing it. So, but that's basically how it would be. Either one, you would be in incredible pain while it took you apart molecule by molecule, or it would just destroy your body and create a new one at the other end.
Well, as long as I can get some enhancements in between.
Like new hair follicles. We got you.
Oh, I kind of like these ones that I have.
Yeah. What's it? Welcome to Country Spoiler. Sorry, Shane. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. What is that?
Yeah, Shane. Shane brought me the hot end for this printer 2 weeks ago. And then it was like Monday night or Tuesday, he had texted me and said, "Hey, how's that hot end working out? Is it okay and stuff?" And I'm like, I haven't touched that thing. It's been sitting back there for 2 weeks, but I'm doing it now, Shane. So far, so good, man. Thank you. I now set my nozzle height based on how cool the texture looks. I don't care how well the print holds, as long as the texture looks good. Because it's all about the texture cheat, man.
My wife just told me that all my girls said, hey. Hey, all my girls.
Hey.
I got a bunch of them. I swear. I asked David if he wanted to be a guest and come on with us today. And he's like, "No, man, I'd love to, but the Bratlet asked me to do a stream with him, you know, his kid. I'm like, dude, don't ever apologize because time's the only thing we've got to give our kids.
Dave Hewlett?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get him on, man.
Again, yeah.
Yeah. We need to ride his coattails, man. Oh, I mean,
yeah. Shane, no, we're riding Chris's coattails, bud. Same old Shane said, tell the country ladies the stream says hi. Hey, street, yeah, that's what they said. Oh, I don't know if y'all can read the chat. Everybody's telling y'all, hey, Regina. So we still got to eat this candy. I've already been asked about it. I told you about this video. Chris is being quiet. Did your battery die? Did it?
That's a square.
Because I mean, I haven't heard you talk in like 4 or 5 minutes, and I'm like,
just ignoring him.
I did too. I thought he was just walking around not saying anything, and I'm like, he couldn't have went this long without saying anything.
And remember, to any of the new viewers or the old ones that have forgotten, if you go to funcountrybasement.com and go all the way down to the bottom, there is a link to get your FKB Ingo playing card. And that will allow you to play Fun in the Country Basement Bingo. I'll put a link to it in the chat.
Now, Chris, you need to rewind and tell us everything you said in the last 5 minutes.
Well, the funny part is you said that I was wandering around ignoring it. Well, I was doing that, but my mic had also died.
Oh,
I hadn't said anything, so I didn't know that I wasn't getting responses. I was just listening to you guys.
No, so you haven't said anything, and we didn't miss anything, but you did die.
The mic did die, yes.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point now where I keep extra batteries right here. It happens so frequently.
Yeah, mine are right here. So yeah, I've got mine too. Which I'm using this desktop microphone. If I'm not working on anything, I'm just going to use it.
Yeah, I should get set up for that as well. I want to get a different mixer. I want to go. This is a 2-channel mixer that I run through. Maybe it's 4-channel. I don't know. Thank you, honey. I want to go to a little bit bigger mixer so that I can have more options. But and then I'm going to donate this one to the Peg Leg Paul Fund because he's been doing everything through the boom mic on the headset, and it's not so great.
Bob Carnes said, "Thank you. That's awesome. This is my first time watching you guys together." Really?
Well, welcome, Bob.
Welcome, Bob.
There are no prizes for the bingo, just so you know.
Yeah, no. There is. You get to win.
Yeah, you get to be the one that says bingo in the chat.
Right.
There's Teresa. Hello, Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
Hi, Teresa.
Hey, keep your clothes on this time, Teresa.
Oh, I don't even want to know.
The laughter is enough. I bet. And this wasn't even a funny episode.
Yeah, Teresa, there's FKB Ingo. Just in case you missed the link, there it is again. That'll get you your bingo card. It is interactive. You can click on it, and it'll highlight the square.
Teresa's
every time you reload the page, it's going to give you a new card. So,
yeah, I guess it is, Teresa, because we're at that juncture, right, where we transfer into summer and y'all start going into winter. So we should be about the same temperatures.
Oh, look, Jim slipped in here. I didn't even see that. Hey, Jim.
He did. How's your wife doing, Jim? Everything going okay so far? I don't know when she's due, but she's due sometime. Huh. By the way, my wife says bonus points for you pronouncing the name correctly, which is really good because, I'm one of them dumb Southern rednecks.
Pronouncing which name right?
Bob Carnes, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Dave Randolph has slipped in as well.
Oh, Lord have mercy. You're talking about all the troublemakers. Not till you showed up.
Martin said my bingo card has wind mouth on it, so it must be a thing. It is!
Oh, man. Jim's Jim's wife is due May the 4th. So yeah, May the 4th be with her.
May the 4th be with her.
Yeah, right. Look, there's Matt from How I Do
Now,
It.
listen, Jim, if that baby is born on May the 4th, no matter what, you have to name it Luke Skywalker.
I will say this. I watched Rise of Skywalker today. And I was not disappointed. I was not mad. I was not upset. I was like, yeah, that was a Star Wars flick.
Yeah, well, like and I, like I won't go into it because some people haven't seen it, but like there was a lot of really negative stuff being posted about it, how it was the worst Star Wars movie ever, and like they should be ashamed and they need to burn the studio down. And
yeah,
I thought it was just fine. I mean, yeah, there's better ones, but I think other than the original 3, which I will always refer to as the first, second, and third one,
right,
just because of my age, I think all of them after that was crap. But
Jim said she's really due the 5th, but he's hoping. Why? You could name it Darth Maul if it's on May the 5th. I mean, come on, man.
Come on, Vader.
Right. I mean, name it Emperor Palpatine. You really want to go? Let's go.
My name's Jim. This is my boy Vader.
Come on, Vader.
or even
go pick up your toys.
My boy Maul.
I can totally see Jim saying that too.
Right.
I can see this scene.
Eat your peas, you will.
Alan said he did not enjoy it as much as the other films. There were things in it that I didn't enjoy. I don't like when videos or Hollywood goes political or tries to shove things down my throat.
Right, no, there's no reason to put messages inside of movies.
Well, no,
Or
you're
TV shows.
so leave that crap out of it and we'll all be good. Let's just make it fantasy like it's supposed to be. But I enjoyed the movie. I really did. I think it sets up great for the next generation of movies. Now they can take a break for a year or two and then make, some good Star Wars flicks from going forward.
Jim said, I'll go run that by her now. If you don't hear back from me in 5 minutes, then no. All right, we have successfully calibrated the Prusa. Not that I really had any doubt that would happen, but
very nice. So I've been working on the E3D Tool Changer all week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the newest version of the tool changer that E3D is using, like if you see their tool changer now, it has all Humera heads on it, direct drive heads.
Yeah.
So
that
the original one, what's that?
That makes sense.
Yep. So the original one had 4 Titans and 4 V6s with really long Bowden tubes, which is the version that I have.
Right.
And I have got it working successfully. It took some doing and some settings to get that to work that well with that long of a tube. It does work. It's possible. But I don't know how far I'm going to be able to go in this configuration. So I've worked on it, and it's cost quite a significant amount of money to this point. But I think if I want to do a lot of different materials, we're going to have to take it even further, and get some direct drive heads, basically. So that's going to be interesting.
And expensive.
Yeah, and very expensive.
So speaking of the Humera, I seen something on Twitter that said that they were going to hold off on taking orders on those, because of the hiccups in China, which I mean makes sense, but I don't know. I just
I saw something funny on Facebook yesterday or day before. One of our local news said that one of our local manufacturers is going to have to shut down for a little while due to the coronavirus, right? Man, you should have seen the people going, oh no, the coronavirus is in Tallahassee. And then it was like, you didn't even read the article. It said due to Chinese manufacturers not being able to get parts over here, we were going to have to shut down locally. Aggravating.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely causing some hiccups, but you know, like you think about it and you're like, man, I can't get my stuff. But think about those guys, you know, like, but I like seeing like Elegoo shut down for a while there to keep their employees at home to lessen their chance of getting sick, which is pretty amazing of a company.
You know, it's funny, Shane, because Chris and I were talking about LDO Motors right before we got on. Actually, before Glenn even got in the studio today.
Yeah, because I wasn't in that conversation.
Yeah, and we were talking about LDO Motors, and I can see that. I can see where companies like that are taking a hit because their manufacturing process is done in.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and you know, even if they're not directly affected in-house, they have to get supplies too. You know, they don't manufacture 100% of the materials that they use. They don't have like an aluminum foundry on site. At least I don't think they do. So, you know, everything is.
Yeah, David said that it's hurting E3D really bad. He's having a hard time getting stock from them and other suppliers.
Yeah, so it's just radiating out.
Yeah.
So, you know, Dave's having a hard time getting E3D stuff, so go buy everything else from Dave. At Printed Solid. I had to put that in there so that it, you know, comes across as a shameless plug because that's a square.
Yeah.
I will never shamelessly plug Printed Solid. I will always proudly plug Printed Solid. It's where I buy all my food from. Because you order candy and you get 3D parts with it.
Yeah. Swear. Somebody posted that in the Prusa thing on Facebook the other day. They were mad that they got a little bag of Haribos with the mini that they ordered instead of getting a full size bag of Haribos, and everybody just lit into them. Like, well, you bought a mini. Don't you suspect you're going to get a mini bag of?
Well, not only that, but is that really why you were buying it? You know, like
that's what I'm saying.
You can buy a lot of Haribo for that kind of money.
He was like, you buy this printer and you only get a piece of a roll of filament and a small bag of Haribo, and it's like, really, dude? The filament and the candy is what you were buying the machine for? Really?
Well, in fairness, I think they should include a full roll of filament always.
Why? They're the only ones that do. You know, I mean,
there's not a full spool of filament in there.
Not in the mini. Not according to him.
Sending it back.
Oh, I hear you. Right.
This is ridiculous. I won't stand for this.
Yeah, Dave, I don't know what happened to the roll of Jesse PLA that I won 5 years ago when I won it on somebody's YouTube stream. I don't know what happened to that. It must have got lost in the mail.
Yeah, I'm not sure where my roll is either. You know, the one that he promised me when I was there, and he's like, "Oh man, I'll send you all the filament that you want." He was drinking a lot of beer at the time, but
yeah, don't you love that? all those promises that he slurred out.
He's like, "Oh, Glenn, you're the best, man. I'm sending you all the PLA you want." He's like, "You just make it yourself." Drunk promises don't count.
I hear you, buddy. Unless you put a ring on the finger, and then they count. Does edible filament exist?
Well, technically, you can eat PLA. It's corn-based, but I wouldn't suggest it.
It might hurt your teeth.
It might hurt coming out.
Dave said you'll have to get him drunk at Murph this year and try again.
I'm afraid at what it would cost me to get him drunk. I could just buy it away.
I'm just gonna bring a bottle of Everclear and go, here, Dave, chug this. And then try to catch him before he just falls out.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. 3D Jimmy got it right. Chris does Cheese Whiz.
It's true.
Dave, please make marble filament.
I'm at the point where I'm thinking about gutting my entire studio area and starting over again. I used to have like really good organization, and I've completely lost it now.
I am not gonna lie, it is so much better for me to have the green screen up right here so that I can put these pictures behind me. Then I don't have to worry about any of it.
Right, you can have anything you want.
Whatever I want.
Again, this is somewhat. I mean, it's cluttered now, but I mean, this is somewhat easy to keep clean. It's everything else. That's just...
I'm gonna go visit my friends again. I'm gonna sit in their living room and do this.
Well, and then
Get out of our house.
I brought the new table up for the FK1, and I really got to get the FK1 up here because that table is now starting to. It's not full, but it's starting to accumulate things.
Yeah,
and it's like because it's a horizontal work surface.
You know what's really sad is if I leave this up, some people are actually gonna think I live in a house that looks like this.
Oh, you do.
So hold up, now let me put up a picture of my house. There. We just sit in the front yard.
No, I've thought about the exact same thing, Glenn. I thought about just getting a pod or something and taking everything out of here.
See, my thought was not a pod, more a dumpster, and then just not bringing it back in at all.
I couldn't do that, but I would love to just rearrange everything, but it would take so much time.
Yeah, well, and then I'm blessed with the space that I have. I mean, Walter's been here; he knows how much room that I have. But the way it's laid out is kind of awkward, so I can't really set it up any differently than this. It's kind of got to be this way. But like, I'm bored of this back wall. I want something different back here. I do want to work a little bit better on my lighting. Which, by the way, I don't know if you guys have ever seen these light bulbs. Have you seen these LED light bulbs?
No.
So they're deformable. This has got an extension on it so that I could plug it into the housing that it was plugged into, but it just plugs into a regular light socket. But I had this thing in there to do the green screen thing. This puts out enough light that it about knocked me down. But cool. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to kind of want to rework all of this, and I definitely want to get a better main camera. Oh, look, the Stargate Walter's never finished.
That is the finished one.
You did a really good job.
We use it to pop over here.
Well, I kind of did the diorama around it too, so it looks really cool where it's at.
Yeah.
Learn some photography techniques,
Yeah, I'm wondering, like maybe if I just take all this stuff out from behind me and I just paint this wall in a chroma green.
Yeah.
Just don't have anything behind me. And then I could put my regular, I could put an image of my background up if I wanted it.
Right.
Or I could, and then we could also use this studio for other stuff.
And the thing about it is the chroma green works fine as long as you don't have things in your way. Like, you get a little fuzziness here if you're not careful. And stuff.
Right. Or if you pick up something green.
Well, yeah. Yeah. You got to pay attention to what you wear.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise you're invisible. Which could be fun too, Go get one of those green suits that they sell at Halloween time.
It is to a certain extent, I can do that with and I will tell you that, and I don't know why it is, but the green screen that they use, the Chroma King that they use here, is better than the one that's in the OBS studio that I use.
Huh.
And I don't know if it's just a tuning thing or what, but it's really hard to get OBS tuned.
Interesting. Yeah, Happy Ron gave Xander a green screen this year at Orlando Maker Faire, and it's one of those kind that's got the metal in the frame, and you twist it to fold it up. Yeah. Which the kids have had different things, like frisbees and little like huts and stuff to hide in that were that same way. And you just kind of twist your arms when you pick it up, and then you're like, whoop, and it's into a circle. Well, this thing is a big oval. It's like a 5x9 or 6x9 square with rounded corners. That thing took me like 25 minutes to get it folded back up and back in the bag. I'm like, yeah, we're going to take that thing out one more time and never put it away.
Regina came over here the other day, and I mean, this is just a green sheet that you can buy, right? It's massive. It's like 18 feet long. By
Is it a green screen, or it's just a green sheet?
No, it's a green screen sheet.
Okay.
But I mean, it's made like a bed sheet. It's just really long and taller, right? So Regina came over the other day and helped me hang it up, and I've got like thumbtacks. I had to take a hammer and tap them into the wood that surrounds this opening back here. So I'm like, I want to take it down, but I don't, because then I have to have help to hang it back up again.
Could you take like a piece of PVC pipe and roll it up and then some straps?
I thought about that.
Because I've thought about running a cable across the up here by the ceiling and putting it on like curtain runners so I could pull it across.
I could do that. I could try to figure out some way to loop it over like a cable or something and slide it down to one end so it's out of shot, but it's just as good. I can put up a background and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I like sitting in the swamp.
Jim asks, Glenn and Walter, are you going to Murph? I know Chris was planning on it. What about you guys? As of right now, yes, I am coming, like pending no catastrophic failure. What's that?
I said, I don't have a hotel yet. I don't know. I mean, other than the hotel, I mean, I can get up there and back pretty cheap, so I'm not worried about that. I don't know. We'll see.
Dave said it was a white sheet, but he hasn't washed it in years.
That's right. Just lay it outside and let the moss grow on it.
I wonder if you could do that. I wonder if you could take a white sheet and some RIT dye and dye your own.
Yeah, but I mean, to have a spot big enough to dye a sheet, big enough that you want to use.
5-gallon bucket, you'd be able to dye a sheet.
Well, you'd be hard pressed to have enough dye in it to do this one.
Yeah, I mean, I only need it to be this wide.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I wasn't even sure if that was going to work with the poster board. Like, I didn't know if it had to be a specific color green, but that keying plug-in inside of Premiere doesn't care. You can pick any color you want. It doesn't even have to be green.
Oh yeah, no, you can do gray, blue, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I remember back in the days of the original Superman series on TV, it was blue screen back then. Go to Joann Fabric and get green spandex. Yeah, but is that cheaper? Is that cheaper than just buying the green screen off of the Amazons?
I doubt it.
Good thing brown screen isn't a thing. It could be.
Oh, it's all right, Chris. We got 10 minutes. You'll make it.
Then you can take a nap, man.
I was gonna say I'm hungry.
I hear you. Me too. And the thing is, I'm not even on my strict diet anymore. I've actually gotten off of that. I'm down right around 210 pounds. So that's where I'm probably going to stay right about there.
Yeah, this stomach virus that I had this week, I dropped 8 pounds in 2 days.
Yeah.
But I had nothing left in me. I couldn't eat. And it was just flowing like a river. So, and then I can't remember if it was one morning I woke up or sometime during the day. I felt like my stomach was eating itself, so I had to at least like start eating toast and to get back going. But I had like no energy, and it was awful. It was absolutely awful. But no fever. Like, I wasn't running a fever. And Uncle Ron was here this week, and I got to see him once because I was sick the whole week. So. But I didn't really want to bogart his time anyway. I mean, he was here on vacation, and he was here with friends, and so like I didn't. And we were going to go to Legoland with him on Friday, but there was no way. So
Yeah, he had asked us to come down, but we had plans for the weekend already to go. He wanted to go out to eat with me and Regina and stuff, and y'all too. I'm supposing it would have been the whole group.
Well, I would hope that you come down here and I'm not invited. I would have been quite offended.
Dude, I pass by your house all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
like
I don't actually get offended, so
yeah. I
I think I'd be more offended if you invited me to go outside because it's very peoply out there.
right.
Shane said whatever I had wasn't contagious, but Shane, whatever that was different than what I got on Monday. I've had like 3 different illnesses in the last month. It's been a really rough month for me.
Chris is silent again.
No, he's just ignoring us now.
That's how you can tell Chris is tired and hungry because he just gets quiet and he just stands there.
Yeah, I have nothing left to say. I'm all talked out. This is all I can do.
Shane said, so don't invite Glenn to streams and never to dinner. Yeah, mainly not really important streams that are for great causes. Definitely don't invite me to those.
Right.
Jerk.
These streams are fantastic.
I agree. And I accomplished some things. I fixed my key fob. I checked that cheapy caliper. That caliper was $10 on the Amazons, and it's dead on accurate to my other one. I mean, they both came in right in the same area, and now the Prusa is all ready to go again, so I can start printing again.
Chris, was that your mini Joel with the different colored shirt on?
Yes.
Okay, I just saw him hopping around on the printer. You know.
Is that like a Oompa Loompa Joel?
Yeah.
Kind of. It's somebody. It's actually kind of funny. I posted it, and then somebody did a negative of it, and it actually kind of looks normal now. When they took it in and did the negative, it looks almost perfect. Those were just I put the 4-part or all the parts in Canvas, and I hit the button, and it started printing, and this is how it came out. So.
So last year at Murph, Joel came up and just kind of palmed this over to Xander. He came up and he's like, "Give me your hand," and he like slides it over to Xander. It's got a magnet in it and stuff. So we have it. It sticks to a shelf that's just behind. I'm pointing. You guys can't even see me. It's just behind the camera. Well, when I first started with Xander doing the filming, and then even as Zach started to come in, I always had a Post-it note stuck to the camera with a face on it, and it said "Booger Eater," and I'd always say to him, "Okay, look at Booger Eater," because it would make him chuckle as I went to start the stream or the recordings or whatever. So I said to Zach when we were filming yesterday, I'm like, "All right, look at Booger Eater," and he's like, "That's kind of creepy." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Booger Eater." And he's like, he was talking about the mini Joel. And I'm like, that's not Booger Eater, that's Joel. So Joel's now Booger Eater. Yeah, I don't know, that Post-it, it's not on the camera anymore, but it's still laying around here somewhere.
Chris, how much longer you got on your benchy, man?
This is the Jesse dog. I don't know. It's 50%, and it's been going for an hour and a half. So
I thought we decided we were moving over to the Sir Layers a lot.
Yeah, I've been doing those too. Actually, I've been trying to widen my test models out to get a better handle on some of the filament.
You're gonna get a bad reputation.
It's true.
You gotta expand a little bit because at some point that company that technically owns the benchy, they're gonna be like, nope, nobody's allowed to use the benchy anymore. We own it.
Yeah, no, but the thing is though, Chris is gonna be at Murph and Daniel Norrie is gonna come up and go, "What the fuck?" Oh, sorry. Supposed to say WTF. My bad. Sorry.
Dave said, but Sir Layers a lot needs a pet. You got to mesh them together. Like you got to take it into mesh mixer and put them together so that the knight's standing there with the dog.
Yeah, there's so many different company mascots and stuff. You know, this is 3D printing, so everybody has one. But you don't have to print anything, you know, except that. You can just keep going, you know.
Right.
You could do the Sir Walters a lot too. That
I
Carl-
could.
That thing's way too creepy. That thing gives me nightmares.
I know, right? Well, they got the one with the mask on. It's not too bad.
Glenn Hope said my latest filament one Profi box didn't have any Stroop waffles. I was mildly disappointed. Jay Griffiths wants to know, can you stack the Sir Layers lots?
You cannot. I've tried. Oh, and this has actually been over here for a while now, but that's my coda that I got for the Australian benefit stream.
What is that?
It's Luby made it. It's Yoda, but it's a koala bear.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's coda. Pretty cool.
Lone Eagle, I don't know, a week ago. Something like that. A week and a half ago.
Yeah.
No, he asked me when I shaved. It was like a week and a half ago. I don't know.
Oh.
It's all one length. It's just all growing back at the same time. I'll cut it again sooner or later.
Practice my stacking. I can't get over 22. That's all I got. I've only done that once.
So what you got to do is you got to remix the file, but hide magnets in them. Then you're like, all right, we're going to do this. And then you're like, you just got to be careful as you go to put them together.
And it doesn't look strange that he's just got them all balanced right on top of the smokestacks of each one.
Yeah.
It's got a slight curve.
Then it falls over.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys.
You can do about 50 of them, and it looks, it's a nice rainbow effect.
Spiral. Yeah, put them together with the 3D glue.
It's the Benchy DNA model.
Yeah.
You could glue them together. That would be weird. What's
Yeah,
up?
you just have a little dish of gloop off to the side, or you're like, so nobody sees you dipping it in there, and then you're like, all right, I'm setting this one on. Okay. I'm going to set this one on.
Vert Hobbies. What's going on over here? Not much anymore. We got about 2 minutes left.
Yeah, we're wrapping it now.
Wrapping it up, buddy.
This morning on the stream, we had a bot, and this is the first one that I've ever seen like this. But it would take every chat message, copy it, and then put some emojis on the end of it. So everything that was going on in the chat, it would just repost it and repost it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was actually kind of entertaining because then, of course, everybody in the chat were putting things in there that,
they wanted to say.
It came back too. Somebody canned it, and then it came back again, and they canned it again. But that's the first one of those I've ever seen.
I don't like, what benefit does that? How does that benefit somebody?
I have no clue.
Other than just like to see if they can do it, like
just for fun, I guess.
Unless it was also sliding in other things that was getting filtered automatically. I don't.
Yeah, maybe. That was a pretty good one.
That just doesn't make sense.
Everybody always laughs at me because I get excited when the bots show up. I was like, oh boy, there's one.
Oh, well, I mean, the first time that I had, like a, well, not a spammer, but, somebody coming in, what's the word I'm looking for?
Troll?
Troll, there you go. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. The first time I ever had a troll on one of my live streams, it's like, you're like, I finally made it.
Yeah.
They're willing to waste their time in my stream.
All right, guys. That is a wrap. That is 2 hours of fun in the Kuntry Basement. So we're going to take us out of here, and I'm going to let the youngster go first this time.
The youngster, that's me?
That's you.
Excellent. All right. Fun in the Country Basement is done. That is another week. It has been a fun-filled day of streaming. Thanks for everybody that hung out today and came to Fun in the Country Basement. It's always a good time to get to hang out with you all. I am Chris Riley on YouTube, 3D printing content. You can get a hold of me on Twitter as well, Chris Riley 3D. And we'll see you in about a week or so. Everybody have a good one. That's all I got.
All right, old man.
Well, that'd be you, but.
Well, yeah, but you're first.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am Glenn from Fun King 3D. As you can see, Fun King 3D, Fun King 3D. And I can be found just about everywhere at Fun King 3D. I am hoping to have a new video coming out this Wednesday, which is kind of Zach's debut of him and I doing a project together. And for those of you who have missed, when I said it earlier, it really took me back to when Xander and I first started, and it made me want to punch myself in the face. But he did good, and he'll get better. I know he will. He's a good kid. He's just kind of 8 years old, and so watch for that. And it's not 3D printing; it's an electronic project, but it's still definitely worth watching. That leads me up to the thing that I say every week, and that is, well, I guess not every week. Every week that we do this stream, and that is that we thank each and every one of you guys for being here, because without you, these streams would be absolutely senseless. You are what helps drive us to do this. You help drive our content, and that is always appreciated. We thank all of the new subscribers that came in, and if you're not yet subscribed, you can go over to funcountrybasement.com or funinthecountry.basement.com, and there are 3 lovely red subscribe buttons across there. Will allow you to subscribe to each of our channels in one convenient location. Did I get it all?
You got it.
I'm pretty tired. Thank you, guys. Walter.
Thank God I don't have to say all that again. I'm Walter, Kuntry 3D, man. You can find me everywhere at Kuntry 3D. And just as a reminder, we will start being live again on March the 3rd. I think that's the date, March the 3rd. I will be back online making content once again that you can join in with and tell me what I'm doing wrong while I'm doing it wrong. Or you can just sit back and watch me do it wrong and then laugh. Doesn't really matter.
That's usually what I do.
Get done wrong. But anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching Fun in the Country Basement. And we will see you next week on Chris's channel. We will be in the basement next week for Fun in the Country Basement. But for right now, that's it, guys. And we will see you next Sunday.
Print on.
Hello. Why is that not working? Hey. It's not showing.